Good morning, children. This is Dr. Anurag Dubey with a new video on biology lesson for class 10 students. As you can see, I am going to start the new chapter, which is control and coordination. This chapter is chapter number 7 in your NCERT textbook. So the chapter is control and coordination. In the last chapter of life processes, you have studied about movements. In that chapter, we have already studied that movements, they are of two types: invisible movements, for example, molecular movements, and visible movements. We also studied that visible movements, they are further of two types: growth related movements and non-growth related movements. So in this chapter, control and coordination, we are going to study first three paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you can see that growth related movements and non-growth related movements, they are written. These are two types of visible movements shown by living organisms. As an example of growth related movement, we can take the example of formation of seedling, which is a young plant. What do you mean by seedling? Seedling means a young plant which comes out from the seed. When we sow the seed in the ground, after some days, over a course of few days, we find that the seedling converts into a young plant, and this young plant can be seen to break away the surface of soil, and hence this young plant seems to show the growth related movement over a long period of time. So here you can see that visible movement is seen in case of a living organism, and this visible movement is because of the growth. On the other hand, we have non-growth related movements. For example, if a cat is running, or buffaloes, they are chewing the cud, etc. In all these examples, the running movement of the cat and chewing movement of the buffalo, these are the visible movements, but these running and chewing movements, they are not because of the growth. Hence, they are said as non-growth related movements. So in general, visible movements, they are of further two types: growth related movements and non-growth related movements, and these are the examples. Now the next paragraph is about the relationship between the visible movements and the living organisms. It is written that why do we associate visible movements with life? In other words, why do living organisms, they show visible movements? Or in still other words, we can say that what is the relationship between visible movements and living organisms? Because if you remember the last chapter of life processes, it was said that if we see something moving, we can regard it as a living organism. So visible movements are considered as a criteria for saying that something is alive or not. So in this chapter, we are going to study the reason why living organisms, they show visible movements. There are three reasons in our textbook. Living organisms, they show visible movements as a response to a change in the environment. I have underlined the keywords. One thing is change in the environment, and other thing is response. And remember that due to the change in the environment, living organisms, they show response, and those responses, they are visible as movements. For example, a cat is running. So running is the visible movement. Now the question is that why that cat may be running? The answer may be that there might be a mouse, and by seeing that mouse, the cat is running. So in this case, the living organism cat is showing a visible movement called running. The reason is because there has been a change in the environment, a mouse has come into the view field. So by seeing that mouse, the cat has started running. On the other hand, organisms, they use changes in their environment for their advantage. So in this case, the change which is happening in the environment, that change is being used by the organism for the benefit, for deriving some advantage, for deriving some benefit out of it. For example, in our textbook, there are 3 examples to prove this point. For example, plants, they grow only in the presence of sunlight. So the presence of sunlight is the change. And what advantage plants use to draw out of this sunlight? They use to grow. On the other hand, children are playing on the swings. So they are swinging on the swings. Now they must be getting advantage of pleasure and fun when they are swinging. On the other hand, buffaloes, they chew cud, and in the topic of nutrition, we have seen that with the help of teeth, we chew the food particles. Now, when we chew the food particles, we try to break that tough food into the smaller particles, which are of usually same texture and same small size. Now, what is the purpose? What is the advantage of doing this activity? This helps in the better digestion of the food material. So in all these examples, the visible movement has been shown. The reason is because the organism wants to derive some benefit out of the change in the environment. Last but not the least, the reason why living organisms, they show visible movement is that those living organisms, they try to protect themselves. Living organisms, they try to protect themselves in case of harmful changes in the environment. If the change in the environment is harmful, then the organism try to protect itself, and in doing so, in protecting the body, the living organisms, they show visible movements. For example, when a bright light is focused on our eyes, in that case, we show the visible movement, and that visible movement is we close our eyes immediately. So closing the eyes immediately is a visible movement, and you can understand why we are closing the eyes immediately, instantaneously, because the eyes may get damaged. So the presence of bright light, focusing of bright light on our eyes is a harmful change in the environment. On the other hand, if we suddenly, accidentally touch a hot object, so we show the visible movement by pulling our hand back immediately. So in this case and in the first case, in both these 2 cases, it is clear that the living organisms, they are showing a visible movement in order to protect themselves. So these are the 3 reasons why living organisms, they show visible movements. Now the third paragraph that we are going to study is telling us the need for a system of control and coordination in the body of living organisms. Now, in the above 3 reasons that you have studied, in all these examples, you can see that a particular change in the environment is related with a particular visible movement. So the movement, you can see, they are carefully controlled by the living organisms. And this is what we are starting as the explanation for the next topic, that all visible movements in response to the changes in the environment, they are carefully controlled by the living organisms. In other words, each kind of a change will produce an appropriate response, and the response will be visible in the form of movement, that is visible movement. So this line is very important. Each kind of change will produce an appropriate response. For example, you can have a very good example from your own case, like children. If a child in the class want to talk to a friend in the same class, now that child will whisper, and whisper is one of the visible movement because the lips will show the visible movement. Now that child, if he or she want to talk to a friend in the class, so that child will whisper instead of shouting loudly if the teacher is there in the class. If the teacher is there in the class, in this case, the whispering will be there, and if the teacher is not there in the class, then the child can shout loudly, no teacher. Now you can see the change in the environment. If the teacher is not there, this type of visible movement will be shown by the child, and if the teacher is there, then this type of visible movement will be shown by the child. So you can see that each kind of change in the environment will produce an appropriate response, and hence a different type of visible movement. So we can say that even you people, that children can also control, they can also control the type of visible movement shown by them. So we can say that movement to be made will depend on the event which is triggering it. So if the teacher was there, different type of movement, and if the teacher is not there in the class, different type of movement is shown. Therefore, organisms, they must first detect the change. I have underlined the keywords. The organism should first detect the change, and then it will be followed by an appropriate response. So detection is very important, and followed by response. In other words, living organisms must use systems that will provide control and coordination. What do you mean by systems? Systems here means specialized organs, because to detect the change, organs will help in detecting the change, and organs will also help in showing the response. So the life process of control and coordination will be performed by the organ systems in the body of multicellular organisms. So why there is a need of these organ systems in the living organisms for control and coordination? This is the reason. That's all in this video.